30 seconds to broadcast. All right. A Soviet-era spacecraft crashed to Earth. 53 years in orbit. That's how long it was out there. Crashed down to Earth. It was a tragedy that Katy Perry wasn't on board that thing. I think that's a tragedy. Hi, everybody. I'm Kenny Webster. We are broadcasting live on a Monday. And look who just walked in. Local hooligan, Jesse Peyton, looking at his phone.
Heck yeah.
Writing tweets. Are you sharing? You could share.
No, I just had to turn off my location. My parole officer can't know that I'm here.
I get that. Yeah, no, that's understandable. Yeah. You're in the same building as the Russian consulate right now, Jesse. I know that because I briefly dated a woman who wanted to go visit the Russian consulate.
Kenny, let's go. I've known you a very long time. You don't have to use the word briefly to describe your relationships.
Put this mic in front.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Good, because I'm going to...
One of these. Hold on. How's that? There we go. Good.
I feel very uncomfortable with you positioning this phallic-shaped microphone in front of my face, Kenny.
You forgot to say black phallic shape,
Yeah,
Jesse.
I hate how you still lead with, I had a very brief relationship with a woman. You can leave brief out, okay, Ken? We know.
I know, absolutely. Yep, it's true. That's absolutely correct. Hi, everybody. Greetings to those of you connected with us on social media. Jesse is here today because we have comedy shows coming up. We're going to be, this is commercial for why we're here today, and then we'll go ahead and start the show, really. You and I are going to be in Jackson, Mississippi, Thursday, May 22nd, and that's going to be great.
Amazing.
And then next night, Friday, May 23rd, we're going to be in Mandeville. Here, why don't I put this up on the screen so people could see that I'm not lying to them if you're watching us on social media.
There it is. Yeah, nothing on social media is ever a lie, so y'all could...
that's true.
This
Here,
is good news.
Here we go. Here's the flyer right there. Oh, look at that. Look how handsome we are.
Man, the thing is, it's kind of misleading because it says couples therapy, and we look like a couple.
I know. I've heard that from a lot of people. They're like, so you're gay now? I don't get... It's like, well, hey.
Now, I just got caught.
Fair. No, we figured we just wanted to monetize off of it.
That's it.
Yeah, but anyway, we're going to be in Jackson, Mississippi, May 22nd, Mandeville, Louisiana, May 23rd, Metairie, Louisiana, May 24th. Who wouldn't want to get marriage advice from two divorced middle-aged men who act like they're 22-year-olds? I mean,
of course, that's what we're out here. We're out here bringing people together.
Jesse, you and I are, we love love, do we not?
We do.
We celebrate love. We celebrate all things relationships. And so if people want to attend this comedy show, simply go to jesseisfunny.com. There's a website, and you could purchase tickets. And it's a great date night idea for you and your husband or wife or girlfriend or concubine.
It's a wonderful date night, and we get a lot of married couples. We also get single people come. It's a funny show. It's a comedy show. It is a spoof parody thing, so we have a lot of fun with it. But, we get more older, middle-aged couples who come out, and, it's a good date night. And I tell everybody there that my goal in doing this tour of couples therapy, the relationship-themed comedy show, is to get every guy that comes to my show is to get him some that night. And I guarantee it. I do a full money-back guarantee. Fellas, if you come to the show and your wife or girlfriend doesn't give you any, Kenny stays at the Hampton, and you could just line up outside his door.
It's true. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I'm a generous lover. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Well, with that in mind, why don't we start the conversation with this today? They're just wired differently, Jesse. A shocking portion of Gen Z say they could form a deep emotional bond with an AI-generated partner and even would consider marrying one. According to a new study, 83% of young people, that would be like younger adults born between 1997 and 2012, say they could develop a meaningful connection with a chatbot, while 80% said they would even consider marrying one if it was legal, which I don't think it is, according to a poll of the most digitally native age group. This is a staggering 75% of Gen Z also said they think AI partners would have the potential to fully replace human companionship, according to a survey that included 2,000 young adults, people in their early 20s, late teen years. Would you?
But you know what? I can't get along. I can't get around without Siri. So probably yes, because I'll stop mid conversation and ask Siri a question. So, but I Siri gets mad at me. She'll send me the wrong way on GPS sometimes. So to make her jealous, I'll make her read text messages from girls that I'm dating. So
Well, just like a jealous lover, Siri is in trouble today. Apple has to pay an exorbitant amount of money to people like you and me. You might actually be entitled to money. If you've ever thought your AI may be listening on your private conversations, apparently there's a little payola here. Eligible Apple customers can now apply for their share of 95 million Siri snooping payout dollars. There was a lawsuit. Siri could have been listening to your private conversations at some point for over a decade. I'm sure they were. Who among us hasn't had a conversation about car parts, and then they looked at their phone and they started seeing ads for it, right?
yeah, well, if Apple owes you money for snooping, then my ex-wife owes me billions. That nosy chick. I had AirTags on everything.
Is that right? I feel like the AirTag thing is a weird way to track someone because doesn't it warn them? I'm told. I don't know.
I don't know.
If someone's driving around in a car and there's an AirTag in the car, at some point it will alert them. There's
on
an
the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that maybe. I don't know. I've never.
But doesn't that kind of negate the point of the AirTag? Like if someone stole your luggage and they were driving away with it, all of a sudden the Apple AirTag will say, hey, there's an AirTag in here. And then they'd have the foresight, the wherewithal to pull over the car, rifle through your luggage, find the AirTag, throw it away, and steal your luggage. So what's the point of the AirTag?
I don't know the anonymity of that, but yeah, you would think the only way that it would work would be to not be detectable.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg, getting back to the dating AI thing, Mark Zuckerberg says that we will be friends with AI. And I want to dismiss that because he's a weirdo and a strange guy, but I use it for everything now. Once I figured out how much it could do, any problem I have, a woman's angry at me. I don't understand this. I'm asking AI. Is this a pimple or is it herpes or what? What the hell? You know what I mean? Like any question I have to ask it. By the way, it was a pimple. It's fine, but still.
Yeah, I was gonna say this would be a weird way for you to tell me.
No. Oh, that reminds me, Jesse. You might have herpes. No, but in all seriousness, Mark Zuckerberg, a weirdo, but is he right? I mean, look at all these young adults saying they would marry AI.
Kenny, the only robot I could have a relationship with is my refrigerator. So that's it. It's the only thing I'll wake up 3 times in the middle of the night to go visit.
Have you ever messed with the smart refrigerators? It tells you when you're out of almond milk, which I think causes autism, right?
Yeah, I think it does too. No, but what I like to do is go to Home Depot and set the internet screens with the. I like to go to porn sites and set them there for in public. So
and like
it's a good prank.
Or at Lowe's or whatever.
Absolutely, you just set them to that, and then people walk by and they get to see midget porn.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And that's great for young moms because then that's a conversation they won't have to have later on.
That's it. Yeah. And well, I hate that I'm pretty redundant because I'm only 5'8". So when I say midget porn, I also mean porn.
I think you're slightly above average for at least you're in the window there. You
sound like every girl who's ever lied to me, Ken.
I'm just trying to be a nice guy. All right, here's another question. I once met a famous midget porn star in the airport at Shreveport. Which is one of the 5 places where I'm a famous person.
Right.
If I'm in the airport in Shreveport, Louisiana, people will approach me. And I ran into a woman whose name is Bridget the Midget.
Okay.
All weekend, we were there doing an appearance. All weekend long, people kept walking up to us. Hey, man, you guys are the Walton and Johnson show. Did you know Bridget the Midget's in town? You should go hang out with her. And I don't know why they kept wanting us to do that. Finally, we meet her at the airport. And she's exactly what you think. She's short for a midget, Jesse. I mean, little itty bitty thing. Her what is it? The helper dog, her support dog. What's the word for that?
Emotional support dog?
No, I think it was like
service
a
dog.
Service dog.
Okay.
Yeah, her service dog was a mini dachshund. It was a little Dick. It was a little Richard.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? It was
yes, absolutely
a little wiener dog. I was fascinated by that.
Yes,
and so small. And all I could think about is if someone's sexually attracted to this woman, is that just a low key way of being a pedophile? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the midget kink, so I'm into. Yeah, it's not my bag. I'm not sure but it does make sense though. If you get turned on by anything that's 2'11", I don't want you around my children.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. A while back, they proposed a law federally, which passed in a few states, but not across the country, outlawing child sex dolls. Now, to me, I think we kill the pedophiles. I don't think you could fix them. I don't think you could cure them. But has a mixed bag of feelings about this. On one hand, I don't want to think that that exists. Right. On the other hand, isn't that just a shortcut for federal agents to figure out who the pedophiles are? Like anybody that bought this thing, if we keep the sex doll legal, horrible, I know, but is that a way to figure out who the predators are?
To figure out and maybe give them an alternative. I don't know. I mean, you think if it's saved one kid, yeah, that's
the argument against that about what you just said is like, is it teaching them to do it?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, that's fair.
I don't know. I do know that if you kill them,
argument.
they can't rape a kid anymore.
I'm pro execution.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
100%. You're very conservative on that.
Very, very much so.
What's your most liberal policy? Weed or something?
Weed. Yeah, weed. Gay marriage. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care what you do.
I don't care if you do either. Adults. For me, it used to be war. I don't want to fund both sides of every war, but now. That's a conservative policy now. It changed. I couldn't have been a Republican 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm not. I can't tell you anything on international policy. I don't know anything, Ken. I grew up white trash, so I'm not very knowledgeable.
Still white trash. Yeah. You could be white trash though and watch the news. You know that, right? I mean,
yeah. No. Well, so my most liberal will probably be being pro-choice, I guess, because I think it could be a case-by-case basis, or with stipulations is how I feel. I'm not 100% pro-life, but I've never had a scare. I just changed my phone number.
Is that it?
And usually that works.
Really?
Yeah,
that's great. So. Thank you, Jesse, for that. Hey, if you're watching us live right now on social media, don't go anywhere. This show will continue seconds from now. If you're listening on the radio, good news. You're about to hear about some great local companies where you can invest your money.
Hello, my name is Pedro. My favorite things to do are smuggle drugs, procreate like a rabbit, and listen to Pursuit of Happiness Radio with producer Keeney. He's stupid.
Okay, we're taking a break on the radio, but we're not taking a break here on the internet, so you don't have to go anywhere. But a quick reminder, kids, me and Jesse are going to be in Jackson, Mississippi, May 22nd. That's a Thursday, the Thursday before Memorial Day. We're going to be in Mandeville, May 23rd, and that is that's where the rich white people live.
Yeah.
In the New Orleans area.
Oh, my favorite people.
It's the white flight people.
Yeah.
They're the people that, and look, I'm just telling you, it's not my opinion. I am told the white people that live there were trying to get as far away from the minorities as they could. And I don't understand why they'd want to do that. But apparently in Louisiana, there's a socioeconomic disconnect between the whites and the others.
I think so. And there's a 28-mile bridge, and it's a long swim if you don't take it.
That's a long, and apparently the kind of people they're trying to get away from don't swim, I'm told.
That's it.
That's
they go to track meets with knives in their bag.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Don't laugh at I don't know what the rules are on that. Hey, but if you guys want tickets to any of these shows, go to jesseisfunny.com. You should. Jesse is fun. It's going to be a couples therapy night. It's a relationship-themed comedy show. Bring your lover. We will give you guys advice. All right, stand by. The show continues right now. All right. An old photo surfaced of the Pope at a White Sox game. He not only talks about hell, he's experienced it. Imagine that. Being a White Sox fan, tough, Jesse.
Wasn't Barack Obama a White Sox fan?
He claimed he was.
He's saying he was from Chicago.
Well, he's from Hawaii or Kenya or wherever he actually is from, but I don't really think he's a baseball fan.
I don't think so either. It's a pandering thing.
I think so, too. Hillary Clinton.
He likes to eat apple pie at his baseball games. I'm like, you're just saying the most American stereotype cliche things you've ever heard.
Yeah, and he married a tranny. We know he doesn't eat pie.
He's trying to find that mini Dotson you were talking about with Bridget.
That's exactly correct. If you're just getting connected to us, we've been talking about. Well, Jesse is he's topical. He's up to date on what's going on in the world. But he's not. You're not like a foreign policy expert.
No, I'm not.
You're more.
I'm a penis joke guy.
Is that? Yeah. Well, that's.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay because maybe you could help me figure this one out. Is Emmanuel Macron doing cocaine? For those of you that are watching us on social media, this will make slightly more sense than it will to people on the radio. But don't worry, we'll explain to you what we're looking at right now. The president of France, Emmanuel Macron, who just coincidentally is also accused of marrying a tranny, I don't know if he did or not, is in a room with cameras and they're talking about Ukraine or something. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Hang on. Here's the caption. Macron, Starmer, and Merz caught on a video on their return from Kyiv. A bag of white powder is on the table. Emmanuel Macron quickly pockets it. Mers hides a spoon, a little mini spoon. No explanation given. Now, Zelensky is known to be a cocaine enthusiast. He had just hosted them in the room. People are saying to connect the dots. We have a little video this year, and there's definitely a white baggie. By the way, who wears a dress shirt with a hoodie? That's a weird. Only the French. And there is a little spoon there. They start taking photos, and you notice Emmanuel Macron realizes it's there, and then he hides the bag, and the other guy hides the spoon. People are claiming that they're doing cocaine. There's the Ukraine flag in the background. It would certainly be on brand for these people to use Coke. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's Alka-Seltzer, and Alka-Seltzer doesn't sponsor the show, so they had to move it. I'm gonna go with that. No, that's definitely cocaine. Come on. It's Coke.
It certainly looks like it, you know. Wasn't there another one of these a while back? There's a band called, what the hell are they called? There's a band from Italy that got into trouble at the Eurovision Awards for supposedly snorting cocaine. And Maneskin, that's the name of the band. Watch this video and tell me if you think this guy is snorting cocaine. Look, this is a very famous band. They had just won an award. And a lot of people claim he's snorting cocaine, and then his bandmate notices the camera's on him, and he shoves him. It does look an awful lot like he's snorting cocaine, right?
It does. Didn't Amber Heard do it on the stand?
Is that right? Oh, that's what people think.
Yeah, it looked like she. That looks close as well.
Isn't it weird that people will just do cocaine in places where they're supposed to be responsible? And
you know what's funny is, and I'm not going to say his name, but I tour with a lot of comedians, and I've been on the road with a lot. And smoking marijuana in a green room is a normal thing, even in red states where it's not legal. And they'll let comics smoke weed in the green room in a lot of places. But now a lot of entertainers will try to get cocaine and do it as well, and they do it openly like it's no big deal.
That's crazy.
It makes me I don't like it.
I don't know. In the 80s or the 70s, cocaine was socially acceptable, and then people realized how bad it was for your health. Back then, there was a magazine called High Times. You're familiar with this? Mm-hmm. High Times magazine would talk about cocaine like it was no different from marijuana.
Right.
And then the studies started coming out, and people realized cocaine is infinitely more dangerous than marijuana. On the other hand, has health benefits and stuff. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe we're just misjudging the coke addicts because we don't use coke.
Well, I've never even tried cocaine. Ken, you know me. I've been sober my whole life. I've never even been drunk, so I'm not an expert on drugs. Ironically, though, on tour, the guys call me Cocaine. That's my nickname.
Why do they call you Cocaine, Jesse?
They say it's because I'm white. I'm fun at parties, and before every show, they all do me in a bathroom stall.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, come to couples therapy.
Thank you very much for explaining that to us, Jesse. All right, moving along here in the news. Speaking of Coke, segue, it brings me no pleasure to bag on Pepsi, but the people have spoken with their almighty dollar. Recently, Dr. Pepper became the number 2 slot for sodas. Pepsi's been knocked down to 3, so it's Coke, Dr. Pepper, the former king of pop. That's, I'm from the Midwest. Although it has been a few decades now, has been supplanted by what some may consider a surprising choice, Dr. Pepper. Is this just evidence that there's more people in the South than we thought? Dr. Pepper, very popular.
Very popular in this. That's my favorite drink. I got it right here. That's what I'm drinking right now.
You're drinking Dr. Pepper.
Am I not allowed to say that on the? I don't know what I'm.
No,
but I love it. Yeah,
you could drink Dr. Pepper.
It's the best. It's sweet, and you go anywhere. And I hate most bars that are all Coke based. It's just Coke, Sprite, and Diet Coke.
But it doesn't have any. What is it? It doesn't have like caffeine in it. For me, that's the best part of soda pop. Is the caffeine. You don't do. Isn't that obvious, right?
Well, yeah. That's why you supplement it with cocaine.
Yeah. Thank you for that,
You do caffeine free, but do cocaine.
All right, I'm doing a crappy job of segueing from one thing to the other, but if you're going to have a Coke, you might have it with a burger, and this is technically a political talk show, so it brings me to this today. Here's our guy, John Cornyn, Senator John Cornyn, one of the biggest rhinos in the state. People hate this guy. Apparently, he helped Joe Biden pass a gun law, and was fervently anti-Trump right up until he needed to pretend he was pro-Trump. Recently, he was seen on social media pretending to read a copy of Art of the Deal, and he was on page 5 or something. He had to say, "Take a picture of me reading this book." Nobody thinks you're reading the book. And now, is this on Chimney Rock or Fountain View? Not far away from our radio station, Trump Burger H-Town just opened up. John Cornyn went to Trump Burger, which has no actual affiliation with the Trumps. It's just owned by a fan of Donald Trump who sells hamburgers. And he was photographed standing out in front of it as if he is the a beef-loving MAGA enthusiast. I don't know if you've seen the picture of his brisket on the internet, but it's pretty sad. It leads me to believe he doesn't eat beef. What do you think?
Yeah, he definitely looks like a flaming homosexual there. Sorry, I don't know if I'm. I think it's hilarious. What size burgers do you? I feel like Trump Burger would only have one size burger, and that would be huge.
Huge. Cornyn upset some people a while back when he posted this photo of his brisket on social media. Now, you've lived in Texas for a while, Jesse.
Ugh.
Would you react to what we're looking at here?
It looks like meatloaf.
Is it ketchup? Like what?
That looks terrible.
This alone should get him kicked out of office. Wouldn't you think so?
That's
Who among us? And he made it. He clearly didn't smoke it. I think he made it in the oven. You can't make brisket in the oven.
That's awful.
Unless you're Jewish, and then you could do whatever you want. I'm not judging you, but
yeah, that was definitely made by a white lady.
You think so?
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Are you what? Who makes the best brisket? The blacks?
I think so.
You think
love black. Yeah, if I see an old black woman cooking food, I'm happy. I'm good with it.
Well, definitely ribs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever been to Memphis? I've seen a dead body in Memphis, and minutes later, I still wanted to eat ribs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was out in front of the Blue City Cafe. Have you performed in Memphis before?
Yeah, I have several times, but never there. But yeah, that's an interesting. Were you with Bridget the Midget?
No, I wasn't. I was with my ex-wife. I've told the story on the radio 1,000 times. We're driving to Beale Street from the freeway. We're on a road trip, Christmas week, late Christmas night. We're driving through Memphis. Blue City Cafe is open 24 hours a day. Some of the best ribs you ever had in your life, and you can get them at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. We're pulling in from down the street. We see a man standing, a cop next to a man laying on the ground with a bicycle. And my wife says to me, "Oh, that man fell off his bike." Well, it's good that cop's going to help him. Boy, he really must be hurt. He's not getting up. And we keep getting closer and closer. She's like, "Why doesn't the police officer help him stand up?" And at some point, seconds later, she realizes he's dead.
Right.
And it is a long, awkward pause. And I say, "We're still going to get ribs, right? I mean, you know, I don't want to not eat. We came all this way."
Maybe it was Joe Biden on the bike.
That's right. It was him giving his inauguration speech.
I
right?
want to go back to Trump Burger because I wonder if you go there and if they change the fries from French fries and they call them American fries now.
I think they do.
That would be awesome.
You want to go eat there? I haven't been.
I'm down. I would definitely love to.
We've given this guy enough free advertising.
Those are 3 of my favorite things in the world: Trump's Burgers and H-Town.
You think so?
I love it.
I love that too. Jesse, you know what else I love? Traveling with you this upcoming week, not this weekend, but next. You and I are heading to one of the coolest places in America, Metairie, and that's gonna be exciting. We're going there. Hang on, why don't I get that back on the screen? Do I still have that here? For those that don't know, Jesse Peyton, a very funny comedian, and I will be in Jackson on Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. We're going to be in, that's the capital of Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Do you think we could get Tate Reeves to visit us?
Heck yeah, let's do it. We'll give him free tickets.
You know, the governor's name is Tate. Do you have anything to say about that?
As long as there's no N in taint.
No,
Tate.
No, Tate.
Okay. Oh, that's way different.
Have you ever met a guy named, have you ever met a Tate?
I have not.
There's a senator named Lindsay.
Uh-huh.
There's a governor named Tate.
Oh, wow.
It
doesn't sound very intimidating.
Would you name your son Lindsay?
No.
Like
remember the owner and the GM of the Rockets used to be Carol and Leslie?
No.
It was Carol Dawson and Leslie Alexander?
Yeah.
It's very gender affirming.
Well, it's like A Boy Named Sue, the Johnny Cash song. Maybe it makes you into a hardcore badass. You know, Dick Butkus. You have a name like Dick Butkus. You're going to grow up and kick some ass.
That's it.
Or you're going to get your ass kicked. You don't have any other choice with Dick Butkus.
It's like in Ndamukong Suh. His last name's Sue, and he steps on people's head.
That's a good point.
It's crazy.
I don't know who that is, but I love hearing it.
He's a football player, and he steps on dudes' faces when their face mask comes off.
I need to learn more about sports.
Yeah, he's a lot.
Sports references are more helpful than the indie rock references that I'm more accustomed to.
Together we cover all the bases, which is why we do couples therapy. You can't miss us.
That's right. Politicians nobody cares about. Sports athletes you hate.
There you go.
Bands you've never heard of.
Absolutely.
We're going to reference them all. Anyway, we want you guys to go. Hey, I love you all. Let's read some comments real quick before we get out of here. Lindsay on YouTube says, "Loved seeing you guys in Hattiesburg. Jesse drug my husband like no other. made our night. What happened? What did she talk? Did you make fun of her husband?
I forget his name. What's her name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, does she show her husband's name? Because I might have. So I love doing crowd work, but I'm never mean. I don't roast the audience members when I do crowd work. I like to do fun, engaging stuff. And couples therapy is a lot of fun because we take questions from the audience and you ask relationship questions, and me and King get to make it funny, and we're real good at that. So.
I feel the same way. Margaret says, "Happy Mother's Day." Jesse, what did you do for Mother's Day this year?
I drove 14 straight hours nonstop from Gatlinburg home. Lindsay, my road assistant, she's prescribed to Adderall, and I took one of her Adderalls, and I drove 14 straight hours only stopping for gas.
It's legal meth.
It's it was awful. I didn't sleep a wink last night.
I used to, when I was in my 20s, I had a prescription for Adderall. And I will tell you, I think it was harder to quit doing Adderall than it was alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very addicting. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
And I was doing fine, and then we stopped at a gas station, and I squeegeed the windshield to clean all the bugs off.
Yeah.
But I was so messed up on Adderall that I squeegeed the bugs off the grill, the hood, the side mirrors, and then I detailed the whole car at Pump 6 at Buc-ee's in Mandeville, which we'll also be visiting again this week.
James, Lindsay says, James, you kept calling him Jimmy, according to her, at the Hattiesburg. I kind of remember that.
Yes, BD Jimmy. I did do that.
BD Jimmy.
Large
manhood.
Dachshund. Large Dachshund
phallic,
Jimmy. Yeah.
Do you remember right before the Hattiesburg show, we were at a gas station, and there were 3 obese black women in the parking lot of the gas station in bikinis, and they were doing a photo shoot in front of what
like a 1994 Tundra.
Yeah, it was like a Nissan. I think it was an Altima.
It's like, we in these streets.
And they would not talk to me. I wanted to go have my photo taken with them. I don't know. Was I not charming enough for them?
I don't know. It was you're very waspy, especially in that environment.
I'm Italian, I think, right?
No,
you think do I look waspy? I think I'm
You look
Italian.
like the dude who would say, "I'm not racist. My car's Italian."
It's German. Oh, that's even worse.
That's way worse, Kenny.
All right, everybody. We love you all. Hopefully you guys hey, if y'all don't mind, we're just goofing around here on a Monday. If you guys don't mind sharing this for us, we wish you would. Dita says, good afternoon. Dida says, our meals should always have a refreshing drink. Dr. Pepper Zero is awesome, says Jennifer. Zero? I would never. Well, I just had a Coke Zero, so who am I?
It's the best. Dr. Pepper Zero is the best sugar-free drink out there.
The promotions guy in the studio right next to us here drinks Diet Mountain Dew. And whenever I see him drinking, I'm like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the reason they keep making this.
No, it's hey, buddy, of all the things they put in Mountain Dew, sugar's the best thing for you, bud.
Hey, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video if you don't mind. If you're joining us on the radio, keep your hands at 2 and 10. Drive safely, everybody. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning for more of what you bought a radio for.
You are listening to the Pursuit of Happiness Radio. Tell the government to kiss your ass.